Heads up. If you have kids around,
parental advisory is in effect.
This is the Bonus Bone Podcast with Lamont and Tonelli.
It's like water torture.
Baby Huey.
Shasta.
And Joe Hawk.
Hey, kids. It's your crazy bonehead family back at it again for the Bonus Bone Podcast.
What's up?
Shasta, Lamont, Tonelli, Baby Huey, and Joe Hawk. Woo. And I realized something this week. You know, last week we gave away tickets to Journey and Toto. And then this week we're giving away Def Leppard, Motley Crue, Joan Jett, and Poison. I think I did those out of order, but you get the idea. Because the stadium tour is back.
Right.
For like the fourth time.
Tommy Lee's going to play the drums without using his hands.
It's the hair
Probably
concert.
True. But my point is that it's back. We're back, you guys. Like, we have real big shows to give away tickets to now. I feel good. So I thought, all right, to get in the mood for all of these shows for 2022, let's talk about our favorite or worst or craziest concert stories. We've all worked in the business for a cumulative of like over 150 years.
Easily.
So I figured we have a lot to pull from here. So, Joe Hawk, you want to start first?
Yeah, I can go first.
All right.
So we've all heard the story that my first concert was the Rolling Stones over at Oakland.
I can't believe you started with the Rolling Stones,
I know.
first of all. That's amazing.
I was at that show. That was a great show.
Yeah, that was.
God.
I think that was also when the Foo Fighters opened up for him too.
Wow.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
You can only go downhill from there.
yeah, and that's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
No. So this is kind of a story you think would happen to me in college, but this actually happened to me in high school.
Okay.
So this was 2004, 2005. It's either the end of my sophomore or beginning of my junior year at high school. And
You
this
all just made us feel very old, but go ahead.
I'm good. I'm good at doing that. But this is like around 911 Powered to the Peaceful Festival over at Golden Gate Field.
Yeah.
Or Park, excuse me. And our favorite band, Anti-Flag, was coming there, and it was a free show for everybody to come through, to raise money for the, war against, anti-war in Iraq situation.
Yeah.
But we get there, it's me and three of my buddies. We get there so early that nothing's going on. None of the vendors are there. And we're like walking around, and I jokingly say, like, there's no one like watching the fence to the backstage where they're going to be performing. Like, what if we just walked back there and maybe they're there or whatever? So we nonchalantly, for
high school kids.
For high school kids, we walk backstage and we see this van unloading like sunflower little centerpieces for the tables back there. And we're like, hey, what's going on? Do you guys need help? Like, yeah, are you guys some of the volunteers? And we like, yes.
Yes,
we are.
Volunteers.
So, you guys don't have your credentials yet. Like, oh no, where do we go? You guys go to the tent over there.
Oh my God.
So we go there. And we use some of the most fakest names, like, Huge Rock or whatever, stuff like that. Like
Joe McCackiner.
Exactly.
Dirty Friday names.
Yeah, Dirty Friday names.
Emerson Biggins.
Fake emails, of course. And then they give us like these bright orange shirt to say, ask me.
Oh, dear God.
So it's like, you're walking around, like we get split up. Two of us go do trash on the lower half of the field.
You had to do trash detail?
Sure. We did do
okay. In theory,
to make
quotes.
to make it real.
Sure.
But then it's me and my buddy John. We're out on the lower part of the venue while Garrett and Dave, they somehow get backstage wristbands. And like, we need two of our other guys to come help us or whatever. So we run like, hey, get back here. Anti-Flags are hanging out.
Yeah.
So we rush and like, oh yeah, we're here to do the trash or whatever. And the guys like clearly did not give a crap, whatever. Like, yeah, go ahead, dude. So we're all four of us in these bright orange Ask Me shirts. We're watching Anti-Flag get interviewed. They get done like, hey, we just want to say that we're really huge fans. Like, can we get autographs? So we all got our shirts signed by all four members of the band.
Ask Me shirts are autographed?
Yes, and I have that at my...
You still have the Ask Me shirt?
I do. That's like one of my prized possessions ever. But here's the kicker, though. We're hanging out. They go on stage. We're actually also like eating all the crafts tables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then their stage guys like, hey guys, just come on up. Like, wait, what? Yeah, come up on stage. So as Anti-Flag's performing, we're right side stage next to them as they're going through the whole set. And then we also the lead singer, Justin Sainz, like, want to give a big shout out to all you volunteers, especially Joe, Dave, Garrett, and John, who were doing a great job backstage. Like, holy crap!
That is a Wayne's World moment.
Oh, totally. And
That's amazing.
Yeah, one of my favorite concert memories ever.
I can't believe I've never heard
Well
that story.
done.
Hold on.
Impressive.
Yeah, okay.
Well done.
I am still trying to figure out what that had to do with the Rolling Stones and Foo Fighters,
I was
though.
gonna say,
That's the story I was waiting for.
Oh, no. I was just saying that because I've said the story about Rolling Stones being my first concert.
Right.
But
it wasn't your
a
best
little
concert
confused.
experience.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There, we made the joke.
Because I fell asleep halfway through the show.
Oh,
You
that
fell
is-
asleep for the Rolling Stones and Foo Fighters?
And we're row
That's
8.
better than the Ask Me story.
Yeah, because I almost fell asleep during your Ask Me story.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And did anybody ever ask you?
No, thankfully not.
Okay, I'm going to tell you my best and worst concert story all rolled into one.
Okay.
Now, Tanel, I don't know if you remember this, but when we were working at KSJO, we gave away, and by the way, let me set this up. This is Eric Clapton.
Oh, now I know where you're going with this.
This is Eric Clapton. Now, I'm a huge fan of Eric Clapton. I'd never seen him before at this point in my life.
Yeah.
And this is right after that horrific situation with his son Connor. It was like during that tour.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we gave away a trip for a couple, and they can bring 2 friends. So it was 4 people to go on this trip. Now, I don't know if it was the winner who did this or the winner's friends, but we picked them up in a limo, and we're on the way to the show, and there's booze in the car, and they had a heat on before they got into the limo. They were like half in the bag when we went to pick them up. And the traffic was so bad on 101 heading to the show that one of the guys, I don't know if it was the winner or his friend, goes, dude, I've got to take a piss. Let me out of the car right now. And the limo driver, who's in the commuter lane, says, we can't get out of the car. I can't stop in the middle of the freeway.
Yeah.
He goes, dude, you either pull over or I'm going to piss in your car. So this is the way the show starts, right? So the limo driver is trying to pull over to the side of the road, but he's not going to make it in time. The guy pulls his dick out and pisses into one of the decanters in the friggin' limo, which, by the way,
Right in
there's
front of
rule
all of
number
us.
1. If you're ever in a limo, don't use the glassware in the car.
Amen.
Because
Not
this
even
guy,
the ice bucket.
Remember this one, Tanel?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy pisses in the decanter. So that's the way the show starts off. So we get to Eric Clapton, and you could hear a pin drop halfway through the show. And we are sitting smack dab in the middle. Like we're probably 20 rows back, but in the middle. Great seats. 6 seats. Me, Tanel, and the 4 winners. Well, you could hear a pin drop when Eric Clapton starts telling the story that he's dedicating this song to his son, Connor.
Oh, God.
And he starts in the first few notes.
Tears in Heaven, I think.
Tears in
right?
Heaven.
Yeah.
Starts the first few notes of the song. And during those first few, he hasn't even started to sing yet. The winner stands up and goes, F you, bitch, to his girlfriend.
Oh, God.
That they were having a friggin' fight. Oh, my God. Now, we're in the middle of the shoreline, and you know Eric Clapton can hear it. He keeps on playing, and he goes, you are an effing, and he called her the C word.
Oh, my God.
Now, exactly.
Oh, God.
Called her the C word, and when all this is going on, the guy behind, I guess, he's getting pissed off at this guy standing up.
Yeah.
He reaches over and spills a drink down my back.
Oh, God. You're back.
So anyway,
Jesus.
they usher this guy out of here. By the time the security comes, though, because he's screaming at her, he's storming off anyway. I'm waiting in the car.
Oh, my God.
So now,
Exactly right.
gal stays there to watch the rest of the show. We get to the car. And he is not there.
Oh, no.
Because the limo driver wasn't going to let this drunk
Of
buffoon
course not.
in.
Right, yeah.
So now she doesn't want to leave without him at the end of the show. I'm going, we are out of here.
Even though he just called her a C word.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Nobody was watching Clapton at all.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
You effing bitch.
Oh, my God. You guys must have wanted to crawl into your seat.
Yeah, so that was one of my first best and worst of shows.
Yeah, all wrapped into one. And you guys are usually the S disturbers wherever you go.
Not this
but not
one.
this
No,
one.
we're
This
angels.
one.
We're
Yeah,
angels.
exactly.
And then
right,
mine is not really radio. I'm thinking what concerts were non-radio related, because we've had some great experiences with radio-related concerts. And so nothing really crazy, but just some great shows. I saw the best combination of great band and great venue was seeing the Allman Brothers at the Warfield back in the early 80s. That was great because it was so intimate. It was about a 3.5-hour show. They just jammed through everything.
And that's one of your favorite bands, right?
Yeah. Clapton, Derek and the Dominoes, Allman Brothers. So the other two are Clapton stories. One is, and I'll make this quick, Clapton was, I think it was like 1990 or something like that. And Chaz, you know drummers. There's an English drummer by the name of Ray Cooper.
Yeah.
Bald guy, round glasses.
Yep.
And he did like they were doing Sunshine of Your Love, and he did like a 10-minute, and this is going to drive Lamont nuts.
Yeah.
A 10-minute drum solo.
Which I would love. Mom would probably walk out of.
Oh, you know what?
it
It's
wasn't
time
really-
for a beer.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a drum solo. It was partially a drum solo, but he did the congas. He did a couple of gongs and
showed off.
tambourines, and
Yeah.
he was standing up. Just an absolute crazy man.
Nice.
But one of those performances that just, sticks with you over the years.
Yeah.
And then from, I guess, my favorite concert, also Clapton related, at the Shark Tank, he redid his in-concert album. Derek and the Dominoes in concert, one of my favorite live albums of all time.
He redid it beginning to end?
With Derek Trucks.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was an incredible show.
That's
Did anyone
phenomenal.
stand up and go, "You effing bitch"?
Like, I remember this one show when it was crazy.
He said, "And please, nobody stand up and say you effing bitch during this show." So that's about it.
Those are some badass shows.
Yeah, there were great shows, but no real crazy stuff. All the crazy stuff has happened at shows
With
during the radio
listeners?
station, right? With
They've been with me.
right?
Surprise, surprise.
Radio promotion. Being on stage with the Scorpions and singing with the Scorpions was
Yeah,
actually
that was a good
pretty
one,
great.
too.
When did you guys do that?
God, it was at the Tank, and we brought listeners up to sing.
On stage?
On
with the-
stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, what song did you sing? Rock Me Like a Hurricane?
We will rock you like a hurricane.
That's a pretty epic moment.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Huey, how are you going to top that?
Well, okay, since Paul's talking about something good, I'll talk about something bad.
Sure. Oh, okay. All right.
Something
Keep it down.
yeah. Exactly. No, but you were there Aftershock a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Our favorite festival to go to.
Yep.
And so, we're in the press area and they got the porta potties and everything set up. And, it's been a long day. Eat festival food.
Yep.
And my stomach just started bubbling. Like it was towards the end of nighttime. And I'm like, crap. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I go running over there. And, the porta potties, like most restrooms from the time I was in high school, I always go for the handicap ones.
The big ones.
The big ones.
Yep. More room. Needs more space, people.
Yeah. Oh, this one is great. It was like a walk-in closet.
Because it's in the VIP. We're backstage,
Yeah,
so it's
right.
nice.
It's great. You could walk in.
It's the Mercedes-Benz of porta potties.
yeah,
for
you
sure.
could like.
I'll write that on my list.
Yeah.
But this one, it was dark. It was nighttime. It was dark, and I was, oh my God, like, how do I aim? Because you want to sit down, you got to hover. So I pull my pants down around my ankle, but I'm like trying to keep them up so they don't
Was
touch.
there someone in the room at the time?
But
Unfortunately, no.
I didn't want them to touch the ground, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to spread my legs wide apart so it's like tight, so it's the fabric's not.
But then you lose the aim.
Yeah, oh my God. So what I do, I take out my iPhone and I put on the flashlight.
Yes.
And so I'm trying
God, weren't
to.
you afraid you were going to drop your phone
So-
in the abyss?
Yeah, so
I have stories.
So I cover the seat with like 10 layers.
You zombified it.
Yeah, zombified it.
Yeah.
And I do my thing, and then I'm holding the flashlight, and I like had it on my neck so I can like
Oh,
clean
this
up.
has trouble written all over it.
I'm
No
trying
doubt
to.
about it,
I'm trying to use the TP, but also I brought like some
Wipies.
some wipes.
Of course.
So I'm trying to take care of all that and trying to juggle the phone under my
I would have
neck.
said the hand has the phone, the other one has toilet paper. That is a rookie move right here.
And then as I'm getting done, and I'm like, man, this stinks so bad. I walked out of the porta potty. Sure enough, there was like these two gorgeous like Instagram type models, influencers, whatever.
Yes.
Just standing there, and they both go walking in right at the same time. And I was gonna do an Ace Ventura, like don't go in there, but I didn't. I just ran to the little sink thing to wash my hands. But yeah, sure enough, they come out a few minutes later. I was watching from a distance. They both come out just like gagging.
Not looking like Instagram models anymore.
Yeah, no. They were squinting like their face was just...
Well, at least they remembered you.
Yeah. 3 layers of makeup just melting off their face.
He left a mark for sure. I was there. I witnessed this moment.
So, yeah,
I remember
terrific.
how red his face was.
I was, just...
Mortified.
Did you try picking them up after that?
Yes.
Hey, remember me?
I'm all cleaned out now. Let's go. I can party for hours now.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, very embarrassing. But yeah.
That's a good one. And it's not like after a moment like that you can just disappear because, number one, you're backstage. There's a very limited few people backstage, and you're a guy that sticks out of a crowd.
Yeah,
That's for sure. Literally,
you're
vertically.
Vertically sticks out of a crowd. So you're going to be very memorable. I do remember that. Oh, Aftershock. Good times always. I have a roster of them, and I'll go through them pretty quick. So 2 of them involve fires. So do you remember? So early 2000s, Kid Rock was like enormous.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so big. Well, this was when his little fella, can't remember the name. What was the guy's name that passed away?
Yeah.
This was the
Josie.
first. Was it Josie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the first show after he passed away. So it was a big deal. I mean, it was sold out, huge arena in Oklahoma City, and everybody was just thrashed. And he's halfway through his set, and he does a whole memorial thing of Josie. Are you looking it up?
It's Josie.
Yeah, okay. So he does a whole memorial thing. And so this is back in the day. This is going to age me. Before cell phones were big, when you used to do the lighter thing, right? The fire, whatever. The fire. This is where we're going with this. So we're down on the floor, and I'm like right at the back of the floor, so I can see. I'm kind of up on a ledge, and I can see the whole floor. And all of a sudden, I see this lighter explode.
Oh my God, that's great.
And it
Fantastic.
and so whatever's, the fuel in the lighter goes everywhere.
And this is in the days of hairnet, too.
Oh, yeah.
So people are using that spray.
Oh, absolutely. So it catches another guy's jacket on fire that's right next to him.
Yeah.
And he starts ripping his clothes off, right? And he's freaking out. And it starts like spreading. Now there's a fire in the middle of this huge pit of people. And people went everywhere. Meanwhile, Kid Rock is oblivious. He has no idea what's going on. He's just doing his thing, which is now really frightening. Like at the moment, it was like, whoa, that's nuts. And then you left and you went home, and that was like, that was crazy. But you kind of had like a laugh about it. But now, after what's happened recently, I'm like, oh my God, that could have been like we got really lucky. Yeah, so that was really scary. Second fire story involves Guns N' Roses. So we're at Inland Invasion down in Southern California. Jay and I, our first concert together, actually. And Guns N' Roses is unbelievably late. Axl Rose
of
is
course.
like,
How unusual, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Right. And this is before they're all back together. So this is like 2006. So he's about an hour and a half late. Everybody's getting pissed off. And so a fire breaks out in the lawn, a huge fire, like a big bonfire, scary stuff. People are throwing bottles. We're getting pegged. I mean, just, happenstance, getting pegged by bottles. It was unbelievable. And then I look up and freaking Axl Rose, and why I still love him as much as I do to this day is beyond me, because this moment was like, really? He comes in on a helicopter, and it lowers down over the stage, and he comes out of it down on the stage. He played maybe 45 minutes. Helicopter comes back. He comes up, and he's gone.
That is hilarious.
And the whole lawn is on fire.
That's some BDE right there.
It was pretty ridiculous. So those are my 2 fire stories. So probably my most iconic story was my very first concert, which was Motley Crue. But I was not intended to be there.
How old?
Most of you guys have heard this story.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I was almost 10. I've looked this up on Wikipedia before because the age is important here. So my mom and her best friend took me and my brother and his friends to Oklahoma City, to the city.
Right.
In Oklahoma, that's what you call it.
Big city.
The city. And they went to see Motley Crue. We went to Chuck E. Cheese. So my mom and me and her best friend go to Chuck E. Cheese, and then we're done. So she comes back to the fairgrounds where Motley Crue is. My brother is 14, 15 years old.
Right.
My mom dropped him off at a Motley Crue show by himself with no adults, nobody over 15
You know
years
what,
old.
though? In defense of her, I will say this, because I was going to shows at 12 and would take a bus to shows.
Oh, my God.
Through
That's
a city
crazy.
of a million
Yeah, but you're
people.
from in Canada.
Right. But
Nothing
here's
happens
the deal.
that in
Everyone's
Canada.
friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Come on in.
Here's the deal. Back then, Tanel, when you were growing up, I mean, we would just disappear all day, and
Yeah,
our
hop on the
parents
bus.
wouldn't think anything
Yeah.
of it. It wasn't like today,
Yeah.
where. So I think my first show was Alice Cooper.
Jesus
And,
Christ.
and then
Talk about
it was.
starting on
Then
top.
I went to see Kiss at the local arena, and there was a riot getting into the show. My parents were oblivious.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. My mom
Yeah.
was my mom's a very sheltered woman. Like she never
Yeah.
drank, never smoked, never cussed, never, didn't have sex before marriage. She's that girl. Okay.
Right.
Very, very, very
God
straight
bless
laced.
her.
That's what
Bless
she tells
her
you.
heart. Can you imagine? Don't even go there. That's my mama. So she's oblivious. So she has no idea. So we go back to Motley Crue, and there's probably an hour left of the show. So we're sitting in the parking lot, and I'm curious. I'm about 10, and I'm like, what is happening in this concert? I haven't been to a show. This looks really interesting. So I'm like, I have to go pee. So I see there's a toilet near the front, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go pee. And then I saw there was a break in the fence right by the toilet. So I'm like, I'm going in. So I snuck through the fence into the lawn area, and I'll never forget it. They were playing Girls, 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 and there were these strippers on poles, and there were Harley Davidsons all over the stage, and lasers, and my mind
Was blown. Oh, that is great.
That is one of probably the reasons I'm here today, working at the Bone, playing rock and roll, because I saw that and I was like, I'm in. Sign
Right.
where do I sign? But here's the crazy part. So I watched for about 10 minutes, and I'm like, I got to go back. My mom's going to, wonder what's going on. So I walk back out, and just as the crew is done and people are leaving, and I'll never forget, I walk out, and there's a tree right. I mean, I could paint a picture of this. It was so traumatic to witness. There's a tree right here by the curb, and there's this girl sitting there naked, butt-ass naked, not a stitch of clothing on her, head shaved.
Whoa.
Passed out up against this tree. And I mean, I'm not even really sure she was alive. I mean,
You're
she was
10.
Yeah.
You're 10 looking
I'm
at this.
10. I've never even seen a rock show, and now I've seen a rock show, strippers, Harleys on a stage, laser beams, naked bald girl passed out against a tree. I mean, my life changed in about 10 minutes. I went from innocent to, whoa, there's a whole world.
And I'll tell you the most amazing part of that story for me.
Yeah.
You went through the hole in the fence that
Yeah.
was beside a porta potty.
Yeah.
Baby Huey just came out of that porta potty.
I always wonder why it smelled like that. Now I know.
That's
Now
why
we
she
got
was.
full circle.
That's why
Yeah,
she was
exactly.
passed out.
Time travel. We have time
Very
travel.
well done.
Through the looking glass, that hole in the fence.
Good job,
Oh,
gang.
man.
Great stories. So we hopefully your stories are better for all the shows that you're going to win tickets to go see on the Bone, of course, right?
Absolutely.
And hey, look at that. I didn't even realize I told the Motley Crue story, and we're giving away Motley Crue tickets this week.
Yeah.
Wow, what a segue.
Yeah. So make sure you listen. 7 a.m. with Lamont and Janelli. On my show, it's 10 a.m. and Joe
3
Hawks,
p.m.
3 p.m. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on the Bonus Bone Podcast. We love you for it. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.